Welcome back to Season 2 of the 5 Star Counsel Podcast, the 5 Star Counselor Bootcamp. Over the next 6 weeks, in 12 episodes, I'm taking you step by step through my service framework. Every episode focuses on one key aspect of service, not only tackling common misconceptions about that aspect, but also giving you clear takeaways and tactical exercises for you to do on your own. This will help you develop service in your firm so that it works for you, your employees, and your clients. I'll help you build the firm clients rave about because you, your clients, and your employees are happier, leading to more referrals, repeat business, and 5-star reviews. Let's get started. Welcome back to the 5 Star Counsel Podcast. This time, we're taking on that question I've been asking for a while. What would a law firm built by the founders of Four Seasons, Disney, and Amazon actually look like? We've spent this season giving you the tasks and the questions you need to come up with answers to so that you can build out this firm. We started with your mission, your vision, and your values. I know other people have called it a purpose or your core values or this or that. But whatever it is, you know that you need to start with these business foundations so you know where you're building to. Not only what you're building for your company, for your employees and your clients, but what you, as the practice owner, are building for yourself. You need to be able to look at things and know this is what we're building, and therefore these are the people we need to involve, whether they're employees or their clients. And the great thing about building out mission and values is that it's going to help you see exactly what your brand should be. You want to make sure that you're pulling together one single persona that really only differs in how you're presenting it. When you think about your mission as something that's delivered in similar verbiage to both your future employees as well as your clients, it means that there's not a disconnect. Everybody knows what the mission is, and it's described in the same terms. For my firm, we guide clients through the maze of estate planning, probate, and tax to help them leave no unfinished business. I can say that to a future employee, so they'll know what we do. I can also say it to our future clients, so they'll know what we do and whether or not it makes sense for them to work with us. We're not trying to come up with different language and hold a different idea of what we do or describe it in a different way when we're talking to different people. We can use the same language inside the firm and outside the firm to describe what's going on. Looking at the values, what we're trying to do is make sure that everybody knows how they should behave when they're in the firm. What should they be doing? How should they conduct their behavior? These are things that are non-quantifiable. We could describe this as be cheerful or be happy or take care of people. But what we want to do is make sure everyone knows how they're expected to behave day in and day out without any sort of standards or metrics. So when we think about these particular values, we want to make sure that they'll guide employees to the right behaviors. It's not that we don't value things like self-care or individuality, but we want to make sure that it actually helps drive the business forward. Yes, it's important to take care of yourself, but in the moment, will an employee say, well, I'm going to go ahead and sleep in and miss this hearing because that's part of my self-care? That's not really useful to you as the practice owner. It's not that we don't want them taking care of themselves, but they still have a job to do, and we need to guide them to the right behaviors. That's where the values come in. Looking back at Four Seasons, they had their service values: smile, eye contact, recognize, voice, informed, clean, and everyone. This guides how an employee at the Four Seasons is going to take care of a guest all day, every day. And it wasn't just for the employees, it was for everyone. Everyone meant everyone inside the hotel and out. Having those service values there to guide an employee both when dealing with employees as well as guests would make sure that they were hiring the right people and keeping them around. When we move to the product that we as a law firm provide, remember that we've got the 3 components of the product: the physical component, the technical component, and the service component. At the end of the day, as a lawyer, we're hired to deliver results, just like any other professional. That means that no matter how great our physical component is or how great our service component is, we're going to be judged on the results we deliver, and that is a direct result of our technical component. Our technical skills are our table stakes. This is how we deliver those results. We can always increase our technical skills so that we're providing more value than a replacement professional. We want to do that. We always want to get better and provide better results. We also need to think about how we judge our physical components and our service components. These need to be taken into account, but they'll never overwhelm the technical component that we're hired for. Again, nobody's going to come to your law firm because you've got a great drink menu, and they're not going to come to you for a massage or anything else. They're looking to get a result that you as a lawyer can produce. But what you can do is build out and humanize those results with your service, giving you the slack so that when things inevitably go wrong with one client or another, you have the ability to recover from that quickly and easily. You're not just relying on being the gruff bedside manner. If you just have a gruff bedside manner, then there's nowhere for the clients to reach back and say, oh, we're still being taken care of. They just made a mistake. You want that slack, and that's where service comes in. To build out that service, the physical component is important, but we don't need to spend much time on it. Most clients aren't going to be impressed by your offices enough to really change things, because most clients know they're ultimately paying for those offices. So make sure your offices are clean and tidy, but don't spend too much on it. You don't need overwhelming offices. We can then look at our service. That ideal firm built by the founders of Disney, Four Seasons, and Amazon would think about its service in 3 buckets: its people, its delivery standards, and its consistency. You'll want to make sure that the people that are hired in your firm to deliver your practice align with the values you've set out. Once you start hiring for skills over the right value match, it's going to cause problems. If the values aren't defined, anybody works, and that's where you get a lot of abusive behaviors. This is why we have to evaluate potential hires along our values, as well as along the potential for doing the work correctly. If the values don't line up, there will be mismatches and mistakes made more frequently than if we had a good value fit. Someone whose values don't align with the firm will feel like they're getting stepped on, or worse, will go out and do things their own way and not care about the results. Looking then to our delivery standards. These are the bedrock for making sure we know if we're doing the right thing. Ultimately, we're shooting for an excellence standard, but we need to break this down into things that are quantifiable. Did you have the right reading score on your document? Did you make sure that there were no spelling errors? Did you make sure that everything was taken out of the document so that a client didn't see a half-formed product? Standards have to be quantifiable, unlike our values, because that gives you a simple measuring stick to evaluate the work that's been put in front of you. How do we know if we've done this job correctly? That quantifiable standard gives you the answer. Finally, we're looking for consistency. We want to make sure that we deliver the same way for clients day in and day out. So to use baseball as a metaphor, if our standards are a single at-bat, consistency is our batting average. We want to know how we're going to do on a given day. How close are we to hitting those standards across a wide swath of clients? Being able to measure your performance so you know when you're doing it and where the areas are for improvement will help better deliver on a consistent basis for you, your employees, and your clients. And we don't want to forget about excluding our red herrings. These are the things that we can get distracted with that we want to substitute as something our clients buy from us. Clients aren't coming to us for trinkets. They're not coming to us for massages. They're not coming to us for the drink menu. They're coming for results. So making sure that you're not investing in red herrings that don't help the clients move the needle. Doesn't mean that you don't spend money on marketing. It doesn't mean you don't have marketing swag. But we're not confusing that marketing swag, the red herrings, with what our clients are coming to us for. An expert means many different things, but whether your expert practice is a volume practice where you have 10 new clients coming in every day, or it's one new client every month, what your clients are looking for ultimately comes down to one thing. Can you help them see the bumps in the road? Your status as an expert is going to be dependent on you being able to see around corners, be able to see the bumps in the road that they can't see. Can you help them anticipate and resolve the issues that they're there to see? Sure, they want the will. They want the traffic ticket. Sure, they want a will or a divorce or a traffic ticket resolved. But can you help them see and resolve the problems that will come from not having worked with you? Having a higher replacement value as that professional will be what you're hired for. And this applies whether you've got 10 new clients coming in every day for your traffic ticket practice, or you only have one new client coming in every day for your M&A practice. And with our practice, we want to make sure that we know what's happening, when it's happening, and who's responsible for the next step. This is where we start thinking about getting different views of the forest of our practice. Of course, we need to be able to inspect the bark on any particular client at a moment's notice. But as the owner, you want to have that mid-level view of the forest, knowing who's responsible for what on any given day, as well as being able to see everything that's happening at a global level in your firm. But when we think about that middle level, the mid-sized version of the forest, we want to, as experts, know what clients are doing and where they're going off track. The more we know, the more we've systematized our process, we'll be able to recognize when someone's getting off track and be able to stop that before it gets much worse. We're here to guide our clients through one process or another, making sure that we know what going off track looks like and how we can recognize it sooner and even avoid it altogether is part of what we're getting paid for. So as we bring this episode to a conclusion, remember you're hired for results, and the service component is how you deliver your physical and, more importantly, your technical component. Service is how we get things to our clients. We want them to think that we did a great job and remember us fondly. But it's more than just saying, hey, I've stayed at the Ritz-Carlton a few times. This service stuff isn't hard. It takes a lot of work, and there's a reason there aren't a whole lot of high-end hotels. Why? It's hard to get it done. Service is a bit of a mystery. It seems so easy and so obvious to get service done. You build out things and you take care of people and you get it done on time. But it's more to it than that. There has to be the system in place to make sure you're getting the right people to deliver the right results and in the right way, day in and day out. Hey, if it were easy, there would be high-end hotels everywhere, and that'd be the only thing we'd have. But there are hotels along the spectrum from 1-star to 5-star, providing the opportunity to stand out. There aren't many 5-star hotels, and there are even fewer 5-star law firms. Building it out so that you can consistently take care of your clients will make sure that you are one of those firms. Thanks so much for listening. You can find more info on us and get your free white paper on client service at fivestarcouncil.com. You can get in touch with me at john@fivestarcouncil.com. If you enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe wherever fine podcasts are found and leave us a review wherever you can.